Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. Thank you for joining us on episode 101. That sounds weird to say. I don't like that coming out of my mouth.
I don't want to do it anymore. Podcast is over.
Podcast done. We did 100 of them. Okay, so this is Welcome Home Disney Parks Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom, and then you just heard Damon, and Trevor's there too.
I feel like there is a Dalmatians joke we just missed.
Oh man, yeah. There's 101. Yeah, I don't know where the joke is there. I probably should have thought of it before we did this.
Yeah, maybe just put a random picture of Dalmatians when you put up the podcast. Okay. Just see who figures it out.
That was a fun live show last week. I had a good time. It was a hot mess, but it was great.
Well, like any live show, yeah. I mean, it's I guess we don't do it enough that we're comfortable with it, obviously. But no, that was a lot of fun.
I mean, I don't think it would be our show if it wasn't a hot mess. So I'm saying hot mess as a compliment. I had fun with the hot messness of it. So I think that made it more fun. I do apologize to the podcast listeners, though, because the audio quality was certainly an issue for the last podcast. But there's only so much you can do. And, if you haven't watched it yet, go check it out. Go on our YouTube channel. Go on our Facebook page. You can watch the video version of it, which is better than the audio version of it because, some of the things that we laugh about in it and joke about it and are visual things, right? So, and we try our best to explain them most of the time, but you can't always explain it well. So go check it out. YouTube, go on our Facebook page. You can kind of see what we were joking about. So
exactly.
Yeah. No excuses not to check out the video, right?
Yeah. Why would you not watch the video? We need more videos.
Exactly. We already got people asking when we're going to do our next one, so maybe we'll do a holiday one. I don't know. I never mentioned this to you guys. Maybe we can do a holiday one, like an end of year, like a New Year's Eve. Not on New Year's Eve, of course, but
I would say I'd do one before Christmas.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do one before Christmas.
But you have
like
to bring home-baked cookies to the podcast if we're doing it live.
All right.
If you don't have cookies, then no.
So the barrier to entry last time was a costume. This time It'll be cookies.
Yeah, and not store-bought, so homemade.
So wait, does it have to be cookies, or can it be any sort of holiday pastry?
Well, what other holiday pastries are there?
I don't know. I mean, you can have a pie. You get an apple pie? No?
Yeah, we get like Nanaimo bars and stuff.
So we're talking Christmas. What'd you say, Trevor?
Nanaimo bars.
What is that?
What the heck that is?
Okay. It's like a chocolate... I can't even describe. Okay, Canadians know what Nanaimo bars are.
Are they like non-bake bars?
No. It's not a non-bake. Like you still have to. I guess when you put the chocolate on, like you've put it in the fridge at that point. But yeah, there's a bunch of prep.
It's in the oven first.
Yeah, like you bake the base and then you make the filling and then the chocolate for on top. And here, let me see if I can find a link.
What's in it? Like it's chocolate.
Seems like a Twix. I feel like this is just a Twix.
No, it's not. No, trust me, it's not a Twix.
I mean, that would be great if it was a Twix. I'm going to apologize up front. I am clicking this whole show, so unless Tom can pull them out,
I can't.
Sorry, I'll be clicking the whole show, everybody.
But by the way, how was everyone's Halloween?
Weird. How was yours?
We watched Are You Afraid of the Dark on Nickelodeon with the whole family.
Same thing. We did the same. That's so funny. We did the same thing. We watched on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
The old one, though, like the original version.
Wait, hold on a second. So what do you mean the original version? There's two. There's the one from 19, then there's the other one before that.
I'm talking about
not a new one.
The one before that. The one from the 90s.
Okay.
That I watched, growing up.
Oh, no, we watched the 2017, 18, 19, whichever one that was. The Carnival of Doom.
Is the new one any good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah? Okay. I mean, because the old one doesn't really hold up as well.
No, I think Goosebumps is better.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, this looks really good. Trevor just sent us a link to... How do you say this?
Nanaimo.
Nanaimo.
Yeah.
Okay, so graham crackers, crunchy nuts,
Dude, it's
butter.
no bake. That's specifically what I asked. Trevor,
You're
you're
right.
a big liar.
Okay. Sorry, honestly, I just eat them. I don't think about the process.
So no, this does not count then. If it's not in an oven,
It has to be baked?
it has to be baked. Yeah.
What?
What about like fudge? Like, you know?
No, I said cookies. Did I say non-bake or fudge? No, I did
No,
not. I
okay.
said cookies.
So it must be baked.
Must be baked.
Must be baked.
Okay.
Yeah.
I swear to you, Trevor, when you said this, I thought you were talking about Malamars, which I was like, oh, maybe they just call Malamars something different in Canada.
No, Nanaimo bars are their own thing.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that's a whole different thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I think Malamars, this is the season for them. I think they're only around a certain amount of time, and I think now is the time. Did you guys have Malamars up in Canada? Is that a thing?
I've never heard of those before.
Damon, you know them.
They're not good.
I love. What are you talking about? They're not good. They're delicious. Malamars are delicious.
They're not good.
Yeah, you'll have to Google that one, Trevor.
Yeah.
It's like a marshmallow chocolate, like little. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like a little thing that it's almost like a handheld. Well, I guess
They're
more
disgusting.
handhelds.
It's something that like your
It's like
parents might get you if they ran out of money
Oh my
at the
gosh,
store.
I love Malamars, man.
And they're like, okay, what do you want? All right, fine, Malamars. Like,
They're delicious.
that's what they are.
No, they're delicious.
Marshmallow and chocolate, it looks like.
Yeah, but think like super processed, super not fresh. Like, there's enough preservatives in them to, keep them shelf stable, which is the problem. If you made a fresh Malamar, like, okay, then I could get on board with that. But no, the ones you find in the store are pretty nasty.
I don't mind them, but to each their own, right? So, all right. Well, we'll have to plan a holiday show.
Don't show up with Malamars. We won't let you in, Tom.
I'm gonna bring them. No, I'll bring my world famous chocolate chip cookies that are really really good. So I'll bring those.
I'll get my wife to bake some chocolate chip cookies too. And I guess for our viewers, we've been talking about stuff that we like for the holidays. What kind of stuff do you guys like? Because
There you go.
obviously there's things that we've never heard of on both sides. So
Yeah, no, seriously, I love learning about like some of the stuff that you guys like have that's very different than what we do. I think that's kind of cool to learn that kind of stuff.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's neat. I learned something new today.
Yeah, and you would like Nanaimo bars.
I mean, it looks delicious. The link you sent me, I kind of want to make them now.
Yeah, they're all over the place here. Like you can buy them. They a lot of bakeries, like at the local grocery stores, they'll make Nanaimo bars, and yeah, they're not hard to find around here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We'll have to do that. Yeah, I hope some of our listeners from like other countries can join us and show us some of the things that they do that maybe are a little bit different, because I love that kind of stuff. I think that's cool to find out, right? So
Yeah, it can be like our own little like EPCOT eating around the world.
Yeah.
But
yeah, let's try to make that happen.
Yeah.
It gets a little tough with time zones sometimes,
Yeah.
If someone wants to send me cookies, though, like I'll be providing my address. That would be fine.
I can send you some of my chocolate chip cookies, Damon. I'll send you. I make a.
I'm okay. Chocolate chip cookies, I'm going to pass on.
What?
Because I already know I make the best ones, so
I don't know about
I'm good with mine.
my wife might.
So I'm a pretty big baker, as everyone knows, and chocolate chip cookies are my thing.
I make a pretty good chocolate chip cookie, Damon. Not gonna lie.
I'm gonna guess you probably use too much chocolate chips. That's usually the knock for me.
Oh well, I don't think there's such a thing as too much chocolate.
And
chips. I
that's
like
where,
a lot of chocolate
that's
chips.
where I would say is where that they're probably not my thing.
They're not chocolate chip cookies if you don't have a lot of chocolate chips in them.
Yeah, chocolate's overpowering. Right?
No, it's not over. I don't do it overpowering. It's like a couple chips.
I would say the normal amount that the recipe calls for is too much for me. There needs to be some substitutions with some sort of nut to kind of make them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
My wife does them with walnuts.
Yep.
Which is really
I would
good.
see.
I don't like nuts in my cookies. I'm not a big nut fan. I just like the straight
Too
up
much chocolate. It's overpowering. You might as well just eat a chocolate bar. Hershey makes a pretty good chocolate bar, I heard.
We're almost 10 minutes into this thing, and we have not even started the show.
That's okay.
That's fine. Whatever. All right, so we'll plan on doing that. That should be fun. So, all right, we've got some listener questions. We got a lot actually from the last episode, which is surprising because we had a lot for the last episode, and then we got a whole bunch more. So, And I got this one from via email from Kent. I just got it right now, like got in right at the deadline. And I thought this was a good question for us to answer. Yeah, it's a fresh question. Kent says, my family and I are heading to Disney World for the first time ever. We purchased 7 days worth of park tickets between the 4 theme parks. How should we divide up our 7 days? Just for your information, our kids are 8 and 5, but both are over 48 inches tall.
Okay.
It's a tough question. This is a tough question because everyone does
personal.
So I guess who wants to take first swing at this? Because I think we're all going to have different answers.
Yeah, I will. So I'm going to go Hollywood Studios 2 days, Magic Kingdom. Oh, this is so tough. I guess I'm going to go Magic Kingdom 2 days, Hollywood Studio 2 days. I'm going to go Animal Kingdom 2 days. Even though it seems crazy, I'm going to go Animal Kingdom 2 days and then Epcot 1. I think that's how I'm going to split it.
Okay.
That's not bad. I think
you got to be heavy on Magic Kingdom. You could probably push 3 days at Magic Kingdom, but then that's just a little too much. But it's your first trip. I mean, Hollywood Studios does have, the runaway train and the Star Wars stuff. If they're 8, kind of cool. So yeah, that's my role. I love Epcot. So that it's tough for me to say only 1 day at Epcot, but I think in the kids scenario as a first trip, I go light on Epcot. So I wouldn't necessarily do light on Epcot if it was the third trip, but I think first trip, I think that's where you go light.
Well, especially with the current state of Epcot, with how much is like under construction there, it feels like you should save a more extensive Epcot trip for a different trip.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Damon, that, Epcot, not just for the fact that it's under construction, but also in terms of, with younger kids, it is probably the most spread out of all the parks. And in terms of things to do, I feel, for younger kids, it's not quite as focused right now, right? So, they would probably, I shouldn't say, some kids love the World Showcase, some kids don't. I personally would not, spend more than a day there because you'll probably find that the kids would get bored pretty quick.
I think until they open that play pavilion, Epcot gets kind of a bad rap for being not a kid friendly park, but I mean, you still have the Seas with Nemo and Friends, right? And you still have the countries can have some interesting fun stuff, and you got Figment, but that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, absolutely, and that's what I was saying. It really does depend on the kid. Some kids are not. You know your own kids, and you know what they're into and what they're not, and you can kind of look at what's available around Epcot, and you may find that the majority of the attractions or the pavilions are just not of any interest to them. So. Yeah, I can see where it's easy to leave it, especially, for the first trip. And I agree with you, Damon, on, go heavy on Magic Kingdom. I could do 4 days in Magic Kingdom, but that's me. And that's, based on what I know about Magic Kingdom. I think the split here is really between Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom for the majority of the days.
Yeah, I actually kind of agree with Damon, the 2-2-2 strategy there. Like, I think that makes sense. Like, you could maybe do a third day at Magic Kingdom and eliminate a day at Animal Kingdom. And much like Damon, I say that in a way, even though like Animal Kingdom is my favorite park. And I do think that there's a ton of stuff to see at Animal Kingdom. I think you can definitely spend 2 full days there, because of all the trails, all the the nature trails where the animals are, and wandering around Pandora and all the stuff that's there. Now you're going right now to where you're missing 2 of the main things in Animal Kingdom, which are the Lion King show and the Finding Nemo show. So those are 2 things you can't do. So those are missing, but still, you can spend 2 days there. There's a lot of great stuff to do at Animal Kingdom. Plus, for me, the safari ride, is like every time you ride it, it's like a new ride basically, because you see different animals and see, there's different things that happen. So, but I kind of agree with you, Trevor. I feel like to get the real Disney World experience, I feel like you need to go specifically with Magic Kingdom for at least 2 or 3 days. I think that should be your focus. And then Hollywood Studios is the place to be right now because of Star Wars and like Damon mentioned, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Toy Story. Don't forget about that either. And Epcot, is great. It's a great park. I don't know what your kid's temperament is though. If your kids are into like learning about other cultures and stuff, they might love Epcot, right? Or if they're into, the maybe the land pavilion. Growing,
I don't know many 5 or 8 year olds that are.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But some kids are. You never know. I mean, but you're right. So
I mean, my kid likes living with the land. It's not like, we have to go see it, but it's, once you get them in there, they're definitely interested, but sometimes it's hard to convince them to go into
I just think that what you're talking about is, the IPs of Disney don't exist as heavily in certain parks, and that's okay. But I think for your first time, the kids are going to be expecting heavy Mickey Minnie.
Yep.
True.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, I think a lot of the subject matter in Epcot is, like talking, the land, living seas, stuff like that. Again, it really depends on if your kid is into that kind of stuff, right?
I mean, there's no Ellen there anymore, so what the hell's the point?
So it's ruined for you. It's that park's completely ruined for Damon. He's never going back again, unless there's a food festival going on. So I mean, listen, it's really going to be kind of up to you. Obviously, we have different opinions on this, but I mean, I think we're pretty much all in the same ballpark. Focus on Magic Kingdom. Hollywood Studios is a good place to focus right now, just because of all the new stuff that's there. And then, I think you can kind of figure out what you want to do between Epcot and Animal Kingdom. But at the time, if your kids are really into animals, you might want to spend extra time in Animal Kingdom.
That's true. Yeah.
So it just really just depends on what your kids are into. So hopefully that answered your question.
Or at least, hopefully gave Kent an idea of where to start. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the first trip, so hopefully first of many in the future. I don't know if you're a DVC member or you're a prospective one, or hopefully you could do some more in the future. And this is just the start. And you got to figure out what your family likes. What parks are going to be your family's favorites and that kind of thing. But to get that real Disney experience, I think Magic Kingdom's the place to start. So Ashley wants to know when our next live show is. We just kind of talked about that, but she also wants to know if we have any fun holiday traditions.
Whoa,
Trevor.
I wouldn't say I have any fun holiday traditions. It's just, I mean, we have, I don't know what they, I didn't really think about this.
So we do a big Christmas Eve dinner. We have 2 trees in the house usually. And because we live, my parents live with us, but my wife's parents live in New Jersey still, we open their presents on Christmas Eve. So that's kind of something we do. I don't know if we were talking Christmas holiday or Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, not much except eat, and bake. But I mean, that's kind of what we do for the holidays in terms of Christmas. And I think for us, it's kind of the whole long withstanding who can take the longest to open presents. So we'll always be like, oh, it's 4:00. I still have 10 presents left, right? Like we kind of do that just for fun as my kids have gotten older. That's been something. But, being away from family, I mean, my parents are here. But that's it family wise. It's a little different than when we were in New Jersey and we had a lot more family there. We did a lot more. We usually do some baking. Like I said, there's a running, there truly is like a running sort of bake off that goes on this house all the time. Like anytime anything gets baked, there's always, well, yeah, that was good, but, or, I could have made that better, but. So we usually do some sort of cookie bake off in general in our house. So my wife is a I guess a fairly good baker. I can't, lend credence to them being better than me because they're not. And my daughter's a pretty good baker, and my one son also will bake as well, when forced to, but he's pretty good at it. So we'll do stuff like that.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, he likes foods in high school, but and he just baked an apple pie yesterday, but I was not a fan of the top, the way that, it was a little too fancy. A little less utilitarian. It's all going on my stomach, so I don't really care what it looks like. But my wife can probably get me on the apple pie. I would say that's something that I'm not super good at, but I crush everybody with the vanilla magic pie, which is very difficult to make. And I'm pretty good at that one. I usually, for people that don't know me, I like to take a recipe and then bake it to perfection. So that may take a few months, may take half a year, could take multiple years. but everything that's in my Rolodex that I make is perfection. And that's what I do. So, right, I try to kind of get there with it. So the last thing was a key lime pie, which it has killed it at this point. You know, that probably took about 10 bakes, maybe even longer to get that one absolutely correct.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I do. So I don't know, maybe I'll pick something new up for the season, but I think Magic Pie has to be in there because I haven't made one in a very long time.
Wow. Okay. I'm trying to think if I have any. I don't really have any specific holiday traditions that I can think of. I mean, we used to have some traditions where we always had a big Christmas Eve party with like all my family would come back when my mom was living in New Jersey. But now she's, you know, this year will be the first Christmas she's not in New Jersey anymore. She's down in Florida. So that's not going to happen anymore because all of our family is, you know, in that New Jersey area. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them are up there. So that's not going to happen this year. You know, I also, I guess my other tradition is, you know, it's an odd tradition, I guess, unique to me because my parents have been divorced since I was a kid. We got 2 separate Christmases. So, we always did, you know, Christmas Eve and Christmas morning with my mom. My mom would do a breakfast casserole, you know, of some sort. It always seemed to change every year. And then we would make the drive to my dad's, spend a couple days with him, and then come back again. I know it's not like a fun tradition, but it's just like the schedule that we were always on was kind of our weird tradition that we would always do.
Well, I guess the other thing is too, we do Christmas lights. So we'll take a night and drive around and look at Christmas lights. That's usually once a year as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, we do that too, you know, weather permitting. Some years we just don't because it's too darn cold. But actually, you know, when you say that, Tom, you know, I realized we kind of did the same thing, like, because with my wife's parents got divorced a long time ago. And yeah, so we would kind of do the same thing where we would, you know, or like we'd see my family on, you know, Christmas like Christmas Eve or whatever. And then we would, it would kind of be over like 3 or 4 days. We would do like it. So yeah, it would kind of like stretch out Christmas, I guess, because we would be seeing different parts of the family over a couple of days, which, you know, like you said, it's not bad. It's just, it's different. And it's, you know, kind of, you know, just how we did it. And I realized there's something else that we've been in the habit of doing for the last few years, which is, we'll have to see how it works this year. Is usually when we go to Disney World, we always pick out a Christmas ornament. We make a point of going to the Christmas store and we all pick out one ornament for the Christmas tree. And obviously this year we weren't able to do that, but I think we may go to the Disney store because we actually have a Disney store at the mall here. And we may try or we'll see what they have there and see if we can pick out an ornament. But that was something, you know, I guess over probably about the last 5 years, we have a bunch of ornaments that we've gotten from different Disney trips on our tree. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So we're getting a lot of holiday questions here. Do you want to read Dan's question, Trevor? Since I'm reading.
Dan says, "Have you been to the parks on Christmas Day? We went there one year when our kids were 3, 5, and 6. It was just a wall of people." Yeah, I have no desire to go to Disney on Christmas Day. like just what Dan says. You know, I can just imagine how crazy the crowds would be. When we were there last year in November, I thought it was great. Like the Christmas stuff was up, and it definitely had that Christmas feel to it. But we were far enough away from Christmas that it didn't. The crowds weren't hitting critical mass. So I think I would rather do that than, you know, try and go even like the week leading up to Christmas and right after Christmas. I would never consider going to Disney at that time.
So the closest I've ever gotten was we did go the week of Christmas 1 year, and we left. We were only there. It was a shorter trip. It was like a 5-day trip, I think. We had taken my mom for her 60th birthday, I think. And we left the day before Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve, basically. And just that day, the day before Christmas Eve, was crazy. I've seen Disney pretty busy before, and everybody thinks, you know, what they see sometimes is busy, but you have not seen busy until you've seen Christmas and the days around Christmas or New Year's. It is literally where you cannot walk. Like, you know, back in back, pre pandemic times, obviously we can't really see that as much now, but that's how it was. It was just you couldn't walk anywhere, and they tried their best to manage that, but it's still tough. It's just too many people trying to go through all that stuff. So when we did that trip, we had specifically done a lot of things we don't typically do. Like we did the dining package with Fantasmic, because we just didn't want to have to. We knew if we wanted to go see Fantasmic, we were going to have to line up way ahead of time, and we just didn't want to do that. So we got the guaranteed seat you get with that dining package. I'm not even sure if they still do that, but. And then we even did for the candlelight processional, we did the dining package for that, because I knew my mom would want to do that. So again, just so we didn't have to wait forever for it. So that kind of stuff, because of how busy Disney is during that time, we thought it would make sense to do it that way. So
yeah, that totally makes sense, and I would probably do the same thing, but. Yeah,
but I'm not going to do it again. That was it was a terrible idea. I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah, the shorter answer is just don't go at that time of year.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Anyway, so Dan also asked if you could be guaranteed the castle suite for 3 nights with the stipulation that you first have to camp in a tent, I guess, at Fort Wilderness for 4 nights. Would you make the deal? He said, I love camping, so a yes for me. See, I think this has to be for someone that hates camping, like me, but I'd still say yes to it for 3 nights in the castle suite that you could only get if you win a contest. That seems like 4 nights isn't too bad. I would do it.
But in a tent specifically, I do tent camping, and yeah, after about 3 nights, my back kind of doesn't appreciate it, so
it's for a once in a lifetime experience, Trevor.
Yeah, but then you'd be. I guess I would be miserable because if you're you haven't slept well for like 3 or 4 days. I mean, I'm sure that the suite would be amazing after that, but I don't know if I would. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hard to say. Like I guess in the moment I wouldn't pass it up. But I think when I got to about the 2nd or 3rd day of camping at Fort Wilderness, I would be having some regrets.
Why do I care about the castle suite anyway?
Because it has
it's exclusive.
And
you like exclusive stuff, Damon, right? So this is
but
exclusive.
It's sleeping. Why do I care?
Yeah,
I really don't care. I wouldn't do that.
It's not just the sleeping. It's just the waking up and looking out the window and having that view of Main Street and everything. I think.
Yeah.
You mean of not being able to sleep in and can't go to bed early? Yeah, I'm out.
Oh yeah, you definitely. That would be a nightmare for you, Damon, because there'd be fireworks and you couldn't go to bed.
Yeah, I'd be out. No, I have no interest in this whatsoever.
Get some good.
Plus, I hate camping.
Yeah, I don't
hate camping.
I'm not a fan of that. That's torture for me. I get it, David. It makes sense now why you wouldn't want to do that.
No, and it's not just that though. There's no so what. Like, so I can sleep out in a tent and get bug bites and, like Trevor said, back problems. So I can go sleep in a castle suite that's probably not as nice as some hotels I've stayed in. Nah, I'm good. I'm all right.
All right. Well, let's go to Casey's question then. Who wants to read Casey's question?
If Casey says, if you were given something free from Disney for life, what would it be? I.e., limited passes, annual passes, hotel stays, anything else you would like?
Easy. Annual passes.
Well, yeah, I think we would all agree with annual passes.
Nope.
Okay, let's.
David would not.
Nope.
Why not?
Because that's not what I want.
What do you want?
What do you want?
Well, so that's just some options down there, right?
Yeah.
I'm picking,
you can give whatever answer you want.
Of course. I'm going to pick a cameo role on every Star Wars television show or movie for life. That's it.
Wait, but what if the cameo is you being like a stormtrooper? Are you still okay with that? No one knows that you're that?
Doesn't matter. I'm still in the credits. Still, I'm in the IMDb. I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't need to be seen. Yeah, you don't. I'm good. Sorry, Trevor, go ahead.
I was just saying, he knows where he is in the scene. He doesn't need everybody else to know.
Yep, that's what I'm taking.
So it's not a matter of being seen. It's just a matter of being in it.
I mean, I would assume it's some of them I'd be seen. It's a cameo role, so at some point I would be. Okay. I could be dressed up as Greedo. We don't know. Don't know.
I think it would be cool to be a stormtrooper, though, at least.
I'd be a stormtrooper. That's fine. That's what I'm taking, though. I don't care about unlimited passes. Why do I want something that I can get by myself? Right? I want something I can't get by myself. If you're going to give me something for life, money's money. I can work really hard and make that. I can't work really hard. I guess I could work really hard to try for roles in Star Wars, right? No, I'm taking the role in Star Wars. I'm good.
That's an interesting. I would have never thought about that.
That's a good one. I was actually going to say, free dining for life would be good. Like, because again, kind of on the same.
Fat.
Well, I mean, I'm not at Disney all the time. So it's, whenever I would go for my Disney trip, it would just not having to worry about the food.
But it would be like the reverse thing. It wouldn't be not having to worry about the food. It would be like, oh man, this is all free for me. I got to make sure I really pack it in. Like that's too much reverse pressure.
No, but I feel it kind of works the same way as DVC, where you get to a point where you're not as stressed about, like, you have to do everything in a trip. It becomes a lot more like, I'll try this next time. I'll try that next time.
Because see, there's the difference is that there's no like monetary portion of you trying something next time or this time, right? But when it comes to food, it's going to be like, all right, well, it's free. So, wow, I saved myself $500 or I saved myself $1,000 or I ordered the most expensive stuff and I saved myself $2,000. Again, it creates a pressure for me that I don't need. I don't need that sort of pressure of, it's like being at a buffet. Like, you want to get your money's worth. Just because it's free doesn't mean that I don't want to get my money's worth. And yeah, that's too much pressure. I don't want any pressure at Disney.
I get it.
Not in on that pressure situation.
You see, I understand the thought process, but for me, that just actually takes all the pressure off. Because I just would.
Because it's free.
Yeah. Because then I just don't think about it. I'm just like, in the moment, I'm like, now. That's what I want. I don't care if it's the $5 or the $50 item.
Yeah. See, I don't think about that now. So that's the reverse. I'd always be trying to order the most expensive thing if it was free on the house.
Okay, that's fair.
Do we want to scrap the rest of the questions and move on to actual topics since we're like halfway through here?
Yeah, sure. we probably should.
Yeah, we could save these for next time.
Yeah.
So, and I know do I want to do the ad now or do we want to do one of these topics and then we can do the ad?
Let's talk about the coasters first.
All right. So you're gonna have to click on this because I didn't give you guys a picture in here, but
I've seen it already. It's a snooze fest.
What do you mean it's a snooze fest? It looks cool.
Snooze fest. It doesn't look like anything spectacular. It looks like it's going to be. They better come through with some crazy the animatronics that follow you, because these rides look pretty boring.
So, but this is just the ride vehicle that we're looking at for Guardians of the Galaxy ride, and they turn as so that's another piece of this. So.
Woohoo! They turn. Oh no, they turn. I've never been on a roller coaster that hasn't turned before.
No, but this is a little different though.
I've been on something like this. Time Traveler is pretty much like this.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Spider-Man is kind of like this.
Not all of us have been on those particular types of rides though. So
yeah, it looks like the vehicle from Dinosaur pretty much.
Well, it's a coaster train. Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, but it's it's a 4-person train. It looks wider than a normal roller coaster train to me, but
well, that's the downside of it. That's why it can't. The ride itself can't be anything crazy. But then again, it's Disney, so it's not going to be crazy anyway, which is the downfall. I'm looking more forward to Tron than I am to this by far.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already seen this before, but we haven't seen, I guess, the completed ones, right? We just saw concept art and I guess there was a video back at D23 a little while ago where they showed the vehicle, but now they're actually built, so that's kind of cool.
I'm trying to what is the paint job on it is from the crap. I'm drawing a blank on it. In Guardians of the Galaxy, it's the planet where where the security organization is, that kind of
Xandar.
Is that what it's called? Xandar? Yeah, I totally blanked on that. I was like, what is that called? But yeah, I was just looking at the paint job is kind of interesting in that they're really pushing that Xandar thing.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, maybe I'm making that up, but you think I know that.
Yeah, I should have known that too. I just haven't watched Guardians in a while, so the name was escaping me.
Yeah, it's I think that's it. Yeah, that's where the Nova Corps are. Yeah,
Nova Corps.
That's it. It's Xandar. Yeah. Xandar's the right one. Okay, well, I just thought these look kind of cool, and I wanted to take a look at them. But Damon, I know you wanted to talk about holiday shopping, but before we do that, since there's a couple things in here, let's do the ad. Does that sound good?
Yep.
So our ad today is for DVC Resale Market, our friends over at DVC Resale Market. DVC Resale Market is the leader in the DVC resale industry with 11 former Disney Vacation Club guides and 2 former Disney Vacation Club quality assurance managers. If you're thinking of buying DVC, browse the largest selection of DVC resale listings anywhere, with DVC experts on hand 7 days a week to answer your questions. If you're thinking of selling, turn to the friendly professionals at DVC Resale Market, where over 98% of listings sell within 30 days and nearly 3,000 contracts were sold in 2019 alone. We're going to have to get updated numbers on that because I know they blew through that record this year. It was a huge year for them. So they are the people to go to if you need to sell your contract. So go to dvcresalemarket.com or call 1-844-DVC-PROS. That's 1-844-382-7767. The most important thing you can do is let them know that you heard about them from us. So let them know that Welcome Home sent you. Again, that's dvcresalemarket.com or call 1-844-DVC-PROS. Awesome. So, Damon, you wanted to talk about holiday shopping.
Holiday food, specifically.
Well, I thought you wanted to talk about holiday shopping. We got holiday food after.
But I refuse to share my section with any stupid talking Groot and Bluetooth speaker.
Okay. Well, you don't have to share it with that. What do you mean stupid? It looks cool.
Stupid. All right. So what do we, I'm going to let you guys kind of lead this discussion. Where do you want me to go? What sort of age ranges do you want me to do? There's a lot. So this is a section I guess I'll do for the next couple weeks. I guess really the first request was what, for older kids?
Well, I was going to say, let's go with my 2.5-year-olds.
2.5-year-olds. Okie dokie. So 2.5. So I have almost 2-year-olds. I have that. So again, for those that don't know, I run bsckids.com and toyroyalty.com. And actually you can find, there's gift guides for everything there. Maybe Tom will be really nice and I'll give him the link. And it's for pretty much every age range from 2 to 16 every year. So that's what I have. So again, I know that we were asked for a little bit older in terms of things, but I'm going to help Tom out here first. All right.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. So the one thing I would say at that age that was pretty wonderful. So Land of Nod is a phenomenal place to buy some higher quality type stuff. And they do have these play home cottages, which are really, really cool. So they're a little bit, like I said, a little bit more on the expensive side, but the quality is a little bit higher. And this is something you can put up or put down, right? It has the interior poles and things like that. But my daughter really loved it. It has the windows and all that super cool stuff like that. So I would say that was a good one. The other thing that actually I really liked at that age was a foam balance beam. So you can put them on the floor. It's like, it's pretty much like half of a pool noodle, but a little bit bigger. And we kept that in the house. It's easy to store. And I think the one that we got was, let's see, it was from Dot Products. Again, this is older. This was from when my daughter was 3. So a little bit older. And then I think this is also when we started on some Calico Critters, which I'm a huge fan of personally. And the Lego Duplos were really good at that age. So those are 2 big things as well. Because again, I'm looking at things from back in the day. So I have to kind of start to look at, things that stood the test of time. But the other one that we started with, so Piggy Paint is a natural nail polish. So we actually started painting her nails around that age just for fun. But we did it with, again, a nail polish that was specifically made for younger kids. So that's kind of a few things for the 3-year-old girl, obviously. So lead me somewhere else, Tom.
That's good. Go back to the older kids like you wanted to do.
All right. So we'll do a little bit. So let's see. Older boys. So this is where it does get super difficult. A lot of the things on this list got expensive. So this year, interestingly enough, one of the websites that I really like, I'm a huge fan of Brad's Deals in terms of clothing, because my kids are pretty much my 14 and 16, almost 15 and 17-year-olds are a little bit more about clothing. So I can tell you that was something that was a big deal. And Pruzy, which is a website, it has, Adidas stuff and Under Armour stuff, but it's one of those places where you go and there's a limited selection, but the prices are really, really low. So that's some place to check out. The other thing that we also did is we got them an iPhone camera lens kit, which they really liked at that age. We also did a lot of, I would say, board games, because we try to do board games, but there's a couple cool things out there. Again, this is a few years old, but there's a card reader for the iPhones, which was really neat. So what you can do is you plug it into your Lightning port, and then you can plug in an SD card to it, and you use it kind of as bonus storage. And that was actually really nice. We used that a lot doing things. This year, we have PlayStation 5 out and Xbox. So those are another big things at that age. And headphones are always, always a good thing. And then it gets a little bit more into, I ended up getting my kid a laptop at that point, but there's also a couple of good things in terms of, what are they into sports wise? I have a couple good projects that I was working on for their sports. I did a lot of custom things for them this year. So I'll get into some more custom things next time. I don't want to take up the whole thing, but stay tuned. Like I said, I'll do this every week, at least for a few minutes. And then, like I said, I'll send Tom the link, which has all of our gift guides that we did. Gosh, from when the kids were 2 all the way up now until they're 17. So there's a lot of good information there and a lot of things that will kind of carry over.
Nice. So we'll do this little Damon segment, in the next couple episodes up until Christmas, right?
Who's got a PS5 though and an Xbox?
I don't.
I decided not to because we're still good with our PS4 and PC this year. I probably won't jump on the PS5 until next year.
Okay.
All right. Well, you guys want to talk holiday food at Disney?
Sure.
Because it doesn't sound like you want to talk about the talking Groot. I thought that was a cool gift, thing to do for someone that likes Baby Groot.
It's expensive. It's a lot of money for something. What are you doing with it?
Yeah,
yeah. I guess that's the thing with some of them is it's like the initial novelty of it is great, but then kind of like what Damon said is what do you do?
$60 for talking.
It's like
Groot,
most of the things I buy at Disney though. There's like an initial novelty, and then I never use it again. Like we've got all these popcorn buckets in our house that have been used once and never again.
We use ours to hold pens, so there's that.
Although I will say, so the green alien from Toy Story, we could not find, for the life of me, my daughter's like little pumpkin, trick-or-treating thing. And we didn't really go trick-or-treating. We just, walked around to some of the houses that had like tables with bags out and stuff like that. And we used the little green alien popcorn bucket to put stuff in. So that was that was basically what we did, which was funny, but at least it got some use.
All right, so food. That's my jam. Holiday highlight.
This is why I added it right here. So all this good new food. That's it.
All right. So we're all on the Parks blog. Let's kind of do what we did last time. I like doing it that way.
I like doing it that way too.
All right, so we have the Magic Kingdom Park, which we have Twice Upon a Cupcake, Let It Snow Taco, an Orange Bird Christmas Chippendale, Christmas Churros, and Pistachio Chai Tea Float. I really want to try this Let It Snow Taco, but the problem I'm having is this spiced chocolate mousse. I don't really like spices with my sugar. Like I know what it's going to taste like, and it's not the worst, but I'm going to have to try that anyway, because I love oranges, but orange scented white chocolate mousse with orange curd, it's too much. I feel it already in I feel it in my stomach being too much. I have to let it go.
Too like acidy? Is that what you're saying? Is your too like acidy?
Just like overly sugary.
Wait,
okay.
So I've realized, well, I haven't realized it recently, but like white chocolate stinks. Like,
I love white chocolate.
Because it's not actually too
sugary.
It's not actually chocolate. Yeah, that's true.
It's just too sugary for me these days. So that's what I'm going with in the Magic Kingdom Park. What about you guys?
This is tough for me because mine's really between the Twice Upon a Cupcake because I am a sucker for confetti cake. I love the confetti like vanilla cake, and then the red velvet Mickey hidden inside looks pretty cool. I really like the look of that. But I think I might have to go with the sugar cookie taco shell, the Let It Snow taco, sugar cookie taco shell filled with salted caramel and spiced chocolate mousse. That sounds awesome to me.
See, I'm right with you with that cupcake. That cupcake looks amazing to me. Again, not just, I know it's a cupcake and I know that it's not gonna
It looks
taste,
cool.
yeah,
but the top just looks like
I would still go for it. I am a sucker for, icing and cupcake and all that. Unlike you, Damon, I will go for the sugar. My second choice, though, is actually the pistachio float.
There's no second choices.
Well, no.
We can have second choice, Tom.
Tom did it, so I'm going to do it too.
Wait, Tom did. What was your second choice, Tom?
My two were the taco and the cupcake and the toy.
If it doesn't count, you might as well just pick all 5 at that point. Gosh,
no, I picked 2
be decision makers.
Okay, see, I want the float then.
Okay,
so let's.
See, I like that,
cupcake.
Trevor. That sounded pretty good. You were. I want the float. All right, I'm good with that. It does look good. The float does look good. But
I like a good spiced chai tea. So
yeah, and it might tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking, is that it'll balance it out a little bit, and it'll still be pretty sweet. But I think that the tea will give it a nice.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think for me, again, the sugary part is I can't over sugar. Like it's too much now. Like you lose the taste when you're just smacked in the face with too much sugar. All right, let's see. So Disney Hollywood Studios, we have the frozen salted caramel hot chocolate. We can probably just stop right there, honestly. But let's tell what the rest of them are. The Mickey's Holiday Cookie, a Holiday Whoopie Pie. First of all, I hate cream cheese filling, so that one would be out. And an Olaf Snow Flurry. I'm frozen salted caramel hot chocolate. For me, I don't think that's even a question.
That's frozen salted caramel hot chocolate topped with marshmallows, green sugar, and a chocolate drizzle, and a souvenir Mickey glow.
It's like a win-win.
Yeah.
The cookie
mean,
just looks...
It looks like a cookie.
Yeah, it looks like a cookie that is trying very hard to be something it's not.
It's just nothing. No, you know what? I'm going to go with you on this one, Damon. I'm going to go with I'm a sucker for salted caramel any day. Salted caramel, I'm all in for that. So give me that. That sounds delicious.
And I'm going to go for the whoopie pie because unlike you, Damon, I am all about cream cheese. So
yeah, I don't like, I like it on a bagel. I don't like it with sugar.
But with red velvet, though, it's expected, right? You got
red velvet with cream cheese is perfect to me. So I would go for the whoopie pie.
I don't like it. Okay, well, that was an easy one. All right, this is Animal Kingdom.
Ooh, this one's interesting.
White chocolate peppermint cream cheese mousse. So that's out for me. Meringue cupcake. Oh, that seems super interesting.
Pumpkin cake with cheesecake filling.
Yeah, that's where it gets beat for me. So the pumpkin ice cream sandwich and then the Santa Mickey mousse. I am going to unfortunately have to go with the Santa Mickey mousse, but I don't even want it. Because everything else is ruined with pumpkin or cream cheese.
Man, Damon, we're on the same page today because I also would go with. I do want the Santa Mickey mousse though because I do like white chocolate and I like the mousse dome and I like a brownie base that sounds really good with some sprinkles and then it's got the little ears on it. So I'm all in for that one.
You see, now I'm torn between the white chocolate peppermint mousse or the menagerie cupcake. I don't know which one I would go for.
Ooh.
Probably, I actually looking at them both, looking at the pictures, the cupcake seems a little more interesting to me.
Now that I'm seeing though, I just realized that the peppermint cream cheese mousse is actually at a Satuli canteen. So that goes with like the blue mousse thing that they have. This is their holiday version of it. I didn't realize that's where that was at.
Oh, I was more intrigued when I read that as meringue. Menagerie, yeah, you're right. That doesn't matter. It's got cream cheese anyway. I'd be out.
So you're out. Just out with the cream cheese.
I was interested though if it was a meringue cupcake. I just quickly perused that, but a meringue cupcake would be interesting.
It's the menagerie being the because they start doing the Christmas animal characters. Yeah.
All right. Epcot.
This should. Oh, there isn't as much.
Why is Epcot so short?
Yeah.
I was frozen apple pie. Nah. Taste of Epcot, Festival, the Holidays, Sneak Peek. I mean,
okay, that's why they're so short because there's going to be a whole list that we can probably cover next episode just for the holidays.
The Festival of the Holidays, which is we've already covered, I think.
I don't think we covered all the food.
I think we did already.
Because it says we'll be sharing our annual foodie guide next week, so we should have that on next episode now.
Yeah, I thought we talked about food and wine, but we haven't talked about the holiday
maybe
stuff.
Yeah. Some
Anyway.
more food talk.
Wait, so what else? There's more stuff, right? So that was just there. What's next? There's Baby Yoda cookies that don't care.
You don't care about a Baby Yoda? I don't really want
Mickey
to.
Pumpkin Rocky Road cupcake. Ooh, seems interesting, but
I'm digging the Baby Yoda cookies and cream mousse. I would eat that.
no, I wouldn't eat either one of these. Fall cupcake looks nasty.
Look, I also don't want to eat Baby Yoda. I feel weird about that.
Spaceship Earth cookie jar. You know, I don't have a good cookie jar. I'm going to tell you the truth. That's interesting.
That cookie jar is awesome.
Yeah, kind of is.
Yeah.
And it's actually less. I think $40 is less than what I would have expected to pay for that, actually.
How big is it, though?
It looks big in the picture, but I feel like it's hard to tell the scale.
Does it really need to be... Or I guess, are you wondering, is it too big or not big enough? Because
Not big enough. It's cookies. How could it possibly be too big? Ever?
Well, if your cookie jar is too big, your cookies go stale because you don't eat them fast enough.
Well, it just depends if you're sucking the air out of your cookie jar like any normal human being would.
Let's just think about that statement for a second.
Wait, you're sucking the air out of your cookie jar?
Well, yeah, of course. Why would you not? That's what's making your cookies go stale.
Do you tell your kids every time they go in to grab a cookie, make sure you suck the air out?
We use the food saver to suck the air out. Gosh.
I don't have a
You guys are like
saver, so-
Neanderthals than your cookies.
Oh, I love it.
It doesn't look big enough. Now that I'm looking at the rest of
Yeah.
the pictures, I'm not in. If it can't hold a whole bag full of what are those nasty things that Tom just talked about?
The
Marshmallow garbage. What were they called again?
Oh, Malamars.
Malamars. Yeah.
Malamars, yeah.
Doesn't even look like it'd hold a bag of nasty Malamars. All right, guys, you want to move on?
So,
right.
what do you guys? I saw these permits that were filed now at EPCOT for a new food location coming to Italy, which seems odd to me that they're adding. I mean, is it just a food kiosk maybe for the holiday festival thing, or do you think this is like a permanent thing?
It says the permit lists the address 1773 Avenue of the Stars, which is located just off the side of La Bottega Italiana. So it's like another. Yeah, I
I'll
don't
take
know.
any more Italian food. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm wondering if it's just a temporary thing or if it's going to be a permanent thing. I'm curious because obviously we don't know about any new Italian restaurant being built there. You think they would have announced something around that if there was like a whole new restaurant? I almost wonder if it's just a booth, but I don't know.
Yeah. So further reading on this, so the description says, it doesn't say whether it's a kiosk or a dining location, but the work is being done by Icarus Exhibits, which is, I guess, the same people who did the work on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
They would employ.
Oh, we have hold on. Beep, beep, beep. Newsflash. Alex Trebek just passed away.
I saw. Yeah.
Oh,
I think that has to supersede Italy food.
Yeah.
Man, with Ellen.
Oh yeah, this is Disney related. I didn't say anything about it because I didn't think it was Disney related, but geez, yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, it's ABC, right?
Well, yeah.
It's Disney in general.
It's very sad.
Yeah. I mean, I was hoping for, an Ellen reboot at some point. I guess that's not the case. Maybe I should build my own Ellen in my backyard or something.
Well, Alex Trebek was Canadian too, wasn't he?
he was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sad.
And unfortunately, he was battling with the same cancer that my father-in-law was battling with. But in Alex's case, they caught it early enough that he at least had some of a fight. That's terrible.
Yeah, that is really awful. So I don't know how to transition to talking about other things after that. But
Wow. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. That.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So, just anything else about this potential new dining place?
Anything more in Italy is good. It's definitely a bonus. I would consider, the one thing that I miss down south is Italian food, so I'm always up for something new in that location.
You know, it's interesting to me that this is done by Patina Restaurant Group, who operates a lot of the restaurants at Disney and like the Disney surrounding areas. So that almost makes it feel like it's not just going to be like a stand; it's going to be an actual like restaurant. But it's just weird to me that we haven't heard anything about it. So I'm just curious to see what this is going to be and if we're going to hear any like announcements about it. So
yeah, I'm just reading through the rest of this permit information.
No, those permits are always so like minimal information, you know, you can never really gain that much from them.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess the key things for me are, the date is before end of 2021. So December 31st, which means whatever it is, we should see it in the next year. But yeah, and then the fact that it's Patina Restaurant Group and, Icarus Exhibits means, you know, that it's not just a booth. Like why would they employ, a couple of high profile firms to do this kind of work,
to do a temporary booth.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll have to see what it's going to be. So the last thing I had on here was
Creepy Land is what you got on here.
Yeah. So it's funny because I showed this to my wife, and she was like, "Ugh." Like that was her just visceral reaction to it. She's like, "That's creepy. I don't want that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, it's only creepy
awesome.
because it has no face on it. I think it's cool."
Yeah, it's really cool. So I watched the video a few times because I was like, "Wow, that is pretty neat."
Well, let's explain what this is. Who wants to explain it?
They've filed a patent for. Hold on. Sorry, the video started talking to me in my ear. They filed a patent for lifelike gaze from the animatronics. So the eye movement on them is going to be closer to human, which means that, you know, just like in your nightmares, the robots will be staring at you.
and blinking subtly. And
when you watch the video, it's super creepy. It's definitely some Westworld.
Yeah. It does feel very Westworldy, yeah.
But
go ahead, sorry.
So what ride are you putting this on?
See, I'm thinking Star Wars Hotel is what I'm putting that at.
Okay.
Like interactive robots at the Star Wars Hotel. Or Star Wars Galaxy's Edge too. I mean, either one. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but just, you know, the way it's making eye contact is just very unsettling.
Or really not making eye contact, right? Because that's like part of it where it's like, you know, humans don't always make direct eye contact. Sometimes they look down a little bit, you know, or move their eyes a little bit. And that's kind of what this is about, right? Is making it look more realistic. And it can also like, it can breathe and blink and then also like follow your movements. So like if you're turning your head. Would you be
mad if they turned every animatronic in Pirates to this?
I think it'd be kind of cool. The thing is, for me, like this only works if you're up close with the robot, right? Like, because you're not going to notice like little eye movements.
It's a shame because really where this would work really, really well is some sort of haunted something or other.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you could do the haunted mansion because you would end up just kids would be running in terror for their lives. Like it would be way too much, but man, for adults, that would be cool.
You would almost need to be like another Tower of Terror type thing, like where the premise is very clearly not.
Even Tower of Terror is not scary.
No, but it's definitely not like the Haunted Mansion, like you said, is more like more kids go on it. Like the Tower of Terror kind of has a lower bar for entry, or not a lower bar, a higher bar for entry. Like it's not like little kids going on it, but yeah, just. You know, the funny thing about this is like, I guess when I see characters and, you know, when characters make eye contact with you, but it's like, you know, like they see you and they wave at you and whatever, I'm fine with that. But when it's an animatronic doing it, that
just creeps you out.
That doesn't feel right. And I don't know what the difference is.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. You know, this is almost, I think this makes it creepier that they didn't have a face on it, like, an actual rubber face. It's just you can see the mechanics of the robot. But again, this is a Disney research video. It's not. There's just demonstrating the technology, so there doesn't need to be a face on there. Yeah, I just when I look at this, I think of like applications of like a close up, like where you're having a conversation with a character, an interactive conversation with a character close up, as opposed to something far away where you can't really see their facial features, or you can't really see what all the different things that are on the animatronic's face and the movements that it makes, those little tiny movements. This seems very subtle to me in a lot of ways.
Yeah, the first thing that I go to is like when you're in line for Star Tours, there's the couple of robots that are like, they're just, they're in the queue, right? Like, so like you're walking by them in the queue, and I can see an application where like, they're that close, like, maybe, 10 feet away from the crowd. And as you're walking through an area, it's, the animatronic is engaging with, individual people. Like, as you look at it, it looks at you and has a conversation and everything. And I can see that working, and I can see them using that as, part of a queue somewhere. But then, on a ride, I don't know how well that would work, because again, the problem with the ride is that you're being pushed through, a set or through a stage. And there's not that level of intimacy, I guess, that the same as, when you're standing in line waiting for something.
Yeah, I get that. That's why. This is exactly why I feel like this is more going to be something like Star Wars Hotel or Star Wars like Galaxy's Edge, where you're up close interacting with these things.
Yeah, I agree with you there, but still, I think either one of two things is going to happen: is that they're going to do the animatronic well enough that you'll think that you're actually like talking to an actor or something, or it'll just be like, I don't want to go back in there because that thing was staring at me and looking through my soul, and
or they never use this at all, and I mean, which is also possible too, that they never even use this technology. So
I can see some version of it in probably the next 5 years. Like the fact that it's patented right now, anything that we're talking about right now, I don't think you'll see it immediately, but I can see them doing some upgrades or changes to existing rides to, add a new animatronic or something, and they may go this way with it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, I think that's it for this episode. You want to go ahead and wrap us up? Is there anything else you want to mention, Damon or Trevor?
I'm good.
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right. Sorry, I had to take a drink there because I realized I've been talking for a long time, and all right, where are we? Right. Okay. So
trying to find your place here.
Yeah. I realized that. So I had all these tabs open looking at these videos and everything. And I'm like, oh, where is the wrap up? There it is. Okay. So, as you guys know, you can always reach us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love getting emails from you guys. We had some listener questions come to us that way. We love getting comments. We love talking to you guys that way. So make sure, if you have any questions or you want to just fire us an email just to say hi, we like that too. And, we're always there. If you want to interact with us on social media, we have a few different places now. So you can find us on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast. You can also find us on Instagram as Welcome Home Pics. You'll see posts going up there a couple times a week. So you can follow us on Instagram. And you can also follow our YouTube channel, which is also called Welcome Home Podcast. And every time we do live streams or anything like that, you'll be able to watch them later on YouTube. And if you guys want to get some merchandise, if you want a mask, if you want a mug or a t-shirt or something like that, please make sure you go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com and check out the merchandise we have available, because there's some cool stuff up there. And as usual, if you're listening to us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, any of those platforms, please leave us a review. We do look at those reviews, and we like hearing the feedback from you guys, and it also helps other people find the podcast.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, just about any place you can find podcasts, you can find us. Just search for Welcome Home. Look for the one that says DVC and Disney. Just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company, and as such, any and all opinions we express on this show are our own. So please consult your DVC representative or Disney cast member for more information about anything we talked about today. Big thank you to DVC Resale Market for sponsoring this episode and being our friends for so long now. Please check them out if you're looking to buy or sell DVC. We would appreciate it if you support the people that support us. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit its hair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl.